My beloved follower, today I wish to share with you some words of comfort and understanding about an emotion that every human being inevitably experiences at certain points in their journey of life. This emotion is loneliness. Loneliness, while often viewed with a sense of melancholy and despair, is not necessarily a sign of being physically alone or unloved. Rather, it is an intricate and complex human experience that can arise from an array of life events or circumstances, and it is crucial for us to comprehend its nature to navigate it wisely. Loneliness is akin to a solitary shadow that can sneak upon us even in the brightest of days. It may stem from a multitude of sources. At times, it could be the result of significant life changes, such as the demise of a loved one, relocation to a new place, or even a shift in personal relationships. On other occasions, it might be the product of feeling misunderstood, unheard, or disconnected from those around us, despite their physical presence. It's essential to recognize that loneliness is not the result of an absence of people around us, but rather a lack of connection or understanding. The feeling of loneliness can manifest itself in various ways, each unique to the individual experiencing it. For some, it might feel like an achingly vast void, a silent scream in a crowd, while for others, it may surface as an overwhelming wave of sadness, a sense of feeling lost even in familiar places. The experience of loneliness does not mean you are flawed or alone. It is a testament to your humanity, your ability to feel deeply, and your longing for connection and understanding. However, the experience of loneliness is not a life sentence. It's a call to action, a beckoning by your soul for deeper connections and self-love. It's an opportunity for introspection, to seek within and understand our emotional needs and desires, and work towards fulfilling them. It's an invitation to reach out and connect with others, to share our experiences, our hopes, our fears, and our dreams. It's a chance to cultivate compassion, empathy, and understanding not just for others, but for ourselves as well. It is also important to remember, my dear follower, that in these moments of loneliness, you are not alone. You are loved and cherished by the divine, even in your solitude. You are part of a grand design, where every heartache, every tear, every moment of solitude has a purpose in shaping you into the person you are destined to be. It's a journey to discover your strength, resilience, and capacity to love and be loved. As we walk through the path of life, let's not view loneliness as a daunting foe, but rather as a wise teacher. It teaches us the value of connections, the importance of self-love and understanding, and the significance of reaching out. Embrace this emotion, for it is part of the human experience, a part of our shared journey towards understanding ourselves and the world around us. So, my beloved follower, the next time you find yourself in the throes of loneliness, remember these words: you are not alone, you are loved. You are part of a divine plan, and in your solitude, you are given the chance to understand yourself better, to reach out, and to grow. Make the best of this opportunity, for in understanding and navigating loneliness, we are led to the path of compassion, connection, and ultimately, fulfillment. My dear follower, in life, you will encounter seasons of solitude and times of loneliness that may seem unbearable. In those moments, rather than succumbing to despair, I encourage you to turn to your faith, for it is a source of immeasurable comfort and strength. Your faith, dear one, is not merely a set of beliefs or practices. It is a living, dynamic relationship with the eternal God who created you and loves you deeply. Remember, God is always with you, even when it feels like you are walking through the darkest valley. The darkness you perceive is not indicative of God's absence, but rather it is an invitation to experience His presence in a profound and intimate way. In the Scriptures, God assures us that even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Psalm 23, verse 4. In the midst of your loneliness, you may feel as if you are alone, but the truth is, you are never alone. God is omnipresent, meaning He is everywhere at all times. Whether you sense His presence or not, He is there, offering you His divine companionship and loving guidance. I urge you to find solace in prayer, for it is a powerful tool that can bring you peace in times of loneliness. Prayer is not a mere ritual or obligation, but a sacred conversation with God. In prayer, you can express your deepest feelings, doubts, fears, and hopes to God, knowing that He listens to each word with unconditional love and infinite patience. Prayer can also provide a sense of connection and intimacy with God, alleviating feelings of loneliness. St. Augustine once said, "Our hearts are restless until they rest in you, O Lord." In prayer, you can find rest for your restless heart and experience God's peace that surpasses all understanding. Moreover, let your faith inspire you to connect with others who share your beliefs. Participate in a faith community where you can find love, support, and companionship. This sense of belonging can significantly alleviate feelings of loneliness, while also helping you grow in your faith. In conclusion, let your faith be your refuge in times of loneliness. Find solace in the knowledge that God is always with you, and use prayer as a tool to communicate with Him and experience His peace. Remember, dear one, you are never alone. Regardless of your circumstances, God is with you, and in Him, you will find the comfort and strength you need to overcome any challenge. Trust in God's unfailing love, and let your faith guide you through the dark valleys into His marvelous light. My dear follower, I want to share with you a truth that is increasingly being neglected in our fast-paced world. It is the truth about the necessity of connecting with others. It is a divine command, as you would remember from the Scriptures, that we ought to love one another. This love is not just a feeling, but an action. It involves reaching out, connecting, and sharing ourselves with those around us. When you find yourself in the throes of loneliness, remember that you are not alone. You have friends, family, and even support groups who care for you and are waiting for you to reach out to them. Isolation can sometimes feel comfortable. It can feel safer to wallow in your sorrows alone, rather than sharing your pain with others. But let me remind you, dear follower, that this is a deceit of the enemy. He wants to keep us separate, to whisper into our hearts that no one cares about our struggles, our fears, and our dreams. But this is not the truth. Let me assure you that social connection is not only beneficial, but it is essential for our emotional well-being. We are created as social beings, designed to live in community and fellowship with one another. Our hearts crave for connection, for understanding, and for shared experiences. This is why even a simple conversation with someone who cares about you can make a significant difference in how you feel. A kind word, a gentle smile, or a listening ear can lift your spirits and shed light into your darkest moments. However, true connection goes beyond just reaching out when we are in need. It involves a continuous effort to build relationships, to invest in people's lives, and to let them invest in ours. It means celebrating with them in their joy, mourning with them in their sorrow, and standing with them in their struggles. It is about being there, not just when it's convenient, but also when it's difficult. In the same way that our bodies need food and water to survive, our souls need love and connection to thrive. When we isolate ourselves, we starve our souls of this essential nourishment. So, dear follower, I urge you, do not let yourself be deceived. Reach out to others, share your heart with them, listen to their stories and learn from their experiences. In doing so, you will find that you are not alone. You will find strength in their support, comfort in their presence, and joy in their friendship. And in this connection, you will find the fulfillment of my command to love one another. So remember, dear follower, whenever you're feeling isolated or lonely, reach out to someone. Share a meal, a conversation, or simply a moment of silence. You will find that in these shared experiences, you are not only nurturing your emotional well-being, but you're also honoring the divine command to love one another. Let this truth guide you in your journey, and may you find comfort, strength, and joy in your connections with others. My dear follower, I encourage you to use this time of solitude, not as a period of loneliness, but as a golden opportunity to focus on the essential task of self-care and the practice of self-love. This is not to be seen as a selfish act, but rather an act of self-preservation, a necessary step to ensure your well-being and ability to serve others. In the quiet moments of solitude, I urge you to engage in activities that bring you genuine joy and offer comfort to your soul. There is immense power in finding happiness in small things, those that often go unnoticed in the hustle and bustle of life. A good book can be a fantastic companion, offering solace and transporting you to different worlds, all while imparting wisdom and stirring up emotions. It can be a source of inspiration, teaching you about resilience, love, and the many facets of human nature. Remember, knowledge is a tool that, when used correctly, can bring about transformative change. Another fruitful activity is to take a walk in nature. Nature holds a mirror to our lives, reflects our innermost feelings, and provides a healing touch that is much needed in today's world. The rustling of leaves, the chirping of birds, the whispering winds all speak a language that resonates with our soul. A walk in the lap of nature brings peace and tranquility, calms our restless minds, and rejuvenates our spirits. It is an opportunity to connect with God's creation, to appreciate its beauty, and to realize that we are a part of this magnificent universe. Practicing mindfulness is another potent tool for self-care. It is about being present in the moment, being aware of your feelings and emotions, and acknowledging them without judgment. It is about accepting yourself as you are, with all your strengths and weaknesses. This acceptance forms the bedrock of self-love. When you love yourself, you establish a healthy relationship with yourself, which in turn reflects in your relationships with others. Taking care of yourself is indeed a powerful way to combat feelings of loneliness. When you are at peace with yourself, when you find joy in your solitude, you realize that you are never truly alone. You have yourself, and that is a lot. When you're content with your own company, you can better serve others and contribute positively to their lives. Remember, my child, that self-care is not a one-time act, but a journey, a consistent practice that you need to incorporate into your daily life. Only when you treat yourself with kindness and compassion can you spread the same to others. So embrace self-care, for it is the path that leads to a wholesome, fulfilling life. My dear child, I wish to remind you today of the significance of remembering God's promises. In the world you live in, it can sometimes be easy to forget the promises of our Heavenly Father. These promises, however, are the rock upon which your faith stands, the firm foundation that holds you steady in times of trials and tribulations. You see, God's love for you is not only an abstract concept. It is an eternal reality, a divine truth that transcends the confines of human understanding. God's love is unwavering, unchanging, and undying. It is not based on your actions, your successes or failures, your virtues or your shortcomings. His love for you is not determined by the standards of the world, but by His infinite grace and mercy. He loves you as you are, and nothing you do or don't do can change that fact. His promise to never leave you nor forsake you is a testament to His unfailing love. Just as a shepherd never abandons his sheep, God will never abandon you. His promise is not a mere assurance, but a divine commitment sealed with His own blood. Therefore, find comfort in knowing that you are never truly alone, for God is always by your side. In those moments when you feel lost, remember that He is your guide. In times of despair, remember that He is your hope. When you feel weak, remember that He is your strength. His promises are not empty words, but divine truths that have been, are, and will always be fulfilled. His love is not a fleeting emotion, but a constant presence. It envelops you in times of joy and in times of sorrow, in moments of triumph and in moments of defeat. His love is the guiding force in your life, leading you towards the path of righteousness, shaping you into the person He has called you to be. The grace of God is not a reward, but a gift, a divine intervention that saves you from your own shortcomings, that lifts you up when you fall, and sets you on the right path when you stray. His grace is your shield, protecting you from the assaults of the enemy, and your comfort, soothing your soul in times of distress. Therefore, in every step you take, in every decision you make, in every challenge you face, remember the promises of God. Hold fast to these promises, for they are your assurance of His unchanging love and unfailing grace. They are the stars that guide you in the night, the anchors that keep you steady in the storm. In the face of uncertainty, remember His promise of eternal life. In the face of trials, remember His promise of deliverance. In the face of sorrow, remember His promise of joy. For every promise of God finds its yes in me. Through me, you have the assurance that all of God's promises will be fulfilled in your life. So stand firm in His promises, and let your faith be strengthened by the knowledge of His unwavering love and unchanging grace.